Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Friday, February 27th, 2026. Southern California has some of the most unique and biologically diverse ecosystems in the world. It also contains a huge network of over 2,500 miles of interconnected state highways that can divide the wildlife populations that live on either side of them. A local land trust has plans for 2 ways to address that issue right here in the Morongo Basin. Online news editor Robert Hayden has the story.
A press release on Thursday from the Mojave Desert Land Trust has announced the beginning of the planning process for 2 wildlife crossing overpasses on State Route 62. The nonprofit says that the crossings will benefit locals by reducing wildlife and vehicle collisions, and of course benefit the mountain lion, black bear, deer, bighorn sheep, and other animals that choose to use the eventual crossings. The project's planning phase is being pushed forward with a $5.5 million grant from the California's Wildlife Conservation Board that will be awarded to the MDLT. They'll be partnering with Caltrans, the Coachella Valley Conservation Commission, and the Mojave Desert Resource Conservation District. That $5.5 million is earmarked for about 65% of the design phase of the project over the next 3 years. That'll include technical studies and engineering work to design the crossing structures, along with the plans to encourage wildlife to actually use it once the crossings are complete. The project will also need an environmental review before implementation and construction begin, which will require additional funding. Wildlife crossings like the ones announced on Thursday are becoming a larger part of the conversation about busy highways that bisect large natural areas. The east-west running State Route 62 does just that between the San Bernardino and Little San Bernardino mountain ranges, where 2 mountain lion populations meet near the highway. Restoring the connectivity between the 2 ranges could help the biological diversity of the mountain lions and restore natural movement for all flora and fauna in the area. According to the MDLT, wildlife crossings like the 2 proposed have reduced wildlife vehicle collisions by up to 90%. Once completed, the crossings will join other wildlife overpasses such as the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing currently under construction over the 101 freeway in Agora Hills, California. That 200-foot crossing has similar goals of allowing megafauna like mountain lions to safely cross without risking their lives or the motorists who are driving on the freeway. The Mojave Desert Land Trust is headquartered right here in Joshua Tree, California, and since their founding in 2006, they say they've protected approximately 125,000 acres of ecologically significant land in the Mojave and Colorado deserts. Their press release goes into more details on the science behind the proposed crossings, the agencies they're partnering with for the project, as well as the individuals, businesses, and institutions that are publicly showing support for the project. You can find that link on their website, www.mdlt.org, or look for a direct link on ours, Z107.7 FM.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
A communications tower proposed for Bureau of Land Management land near Morongo Valley is facing pushback from neighbors. A similar tower was proposed by Interconnect LLC for a site a short distance away. That project was reconsidered by the BLM after community opposition. A new tower from Interconnect is proposed for a site only 500 feet from the previous site, and a group called Residents Against the Tower, or RAT, are leading a renewed opposition to the project. Reporter Gabriel Hart spoke with RAT spokesperson Sarah Fernandez about what they're up against.
In 2022, the Bureau of Land Management presented a scoping report that would allow Interconnect Towers to develop a 200-foot communications tower on public lands bordering Sand Snow National Monument and Morongo Valley. Residents and the Morongo Valley Community Services District successfully pushed back with comments and concerns, including projected property value losses, environmental damages, fire hazards, and health concerns. In 2024, as a result of the opposition, BLM requested that Interconnect revise its environmental assessment to address those concerns. Residents were then given 30 days to submit their substantive comments and successfully delayed the project for another 2 years. However, Residents Against the Tower spokesperson Sarah Fernandez said last month BLM announced the tower site had merely moved 500 feet and residents weren't given enough notice to protest the additional and remaining concerns.
And the position on the ridgeline is about 100 feet lower than where it was before, but it's still proposed to be 196 feet tall. It still proposes a new access road from Canyon House in about the same location, but it does come with some new environmental impacts that weren't previously studied. This is the public's first time seeing the new site, and we're not getting an opportunity to comment on it publicly, despite the fact that, if you recall, a year ago when Congressman Obermulti had his Yucca Valley Town Hall meeting, he announced to the public that the BLM is moving the tower to a new site and the public will have an opportunity to comment.
Fernandez says that anyone that has participated in the previous comment period has the opportunity to file a protest to urge the BLM director not to approve the project. She says while the newest EA might be final, that doesn't mean the project is approved. Beyond the negligible distance between the new site and its previous location, the 2025 biological survey also found remains of the endangered desert tortoise as well as 11 species of bats in the area.
Back in 2024, the biological study said that there are no bats that occupy the area. And all of us who live in the vicinity know that that's not true. There's bats everywhere. So we called them out on that. And as a result, they prepared a bat survey over, I think, a week period. They monitored for bat activity. They use sound monitoring to identify which species of bats are actually there, match their sonar to the actual species. So they detected 11 species of bats, and much of those are considered special status. But the public also needs an opportunity to comment on any new information.
When asked for comment, BLM Public Affairs Specialist Kate Miyamoto told Z107.7, quote, "The BLM conducted additional visual resource analysis, which included adding key observation points and visual simulations of how the proposed project would look on the landscape. The visual analysis helped determine the appropriate design measures to reduce environmental effects from the communication site tower through color selection of the tower and components, location of the tower, and the tower's effects to residents within the viewshed. The BLM also analyzed the wildfire risk and developed a fire management plan to help prevent fire-related loss, resource damage, and manage fire risk during construction. The project would improve telecommunications and broadband connections for the communities of Morongo Valley and Yucca Valley," unquote. This Sunday's Residents Against the Tower meeting will have laptops with templates for residents to craft their letters of protest, along with volunteers to help submit them. For those who can't attend, you can sign up for an email list at stopmorongovalleytower.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
Thanks, Gabe. Rat meets this Sunday at Covington Park's multi-purpose room at 3 p.m. The Johnson Valley Shared Use Area has officially reopened to the public. Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center officials announced the reopening of the space yesterday. They expressed their appreciation for the public's support during the recent closure, which was for essential Marine Corps training. They say that those exercises help ensure Marines are prepared for any mission anywhere in the world. As this closure concludes, the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center reminds the Morongo Basin that further closures are scheduled for August 13th, 2026, February 12th, 2027, and August 13th, 2027. For more details, including a downloadable map showing the boundaries of the Combat Center and the shared use area, you can see a link at this story at Z107.7fm.com. To promote reading and literacy, the Morongo Unified School District is kicking off their Literacy is Life campaign with a free public event tomorrow. On last week's Z107.7 Up Close show, Morongo Unified School District literary coaches Katie Fleischman and Melissa Stacy discussed the importance of reading with host Gary Daigneault. Fleischman described tomorrow's event, saying,
"It is a free community resource event. It is Saturday, February 28th from 10 to 2 at Joshua Tree Elementary School. It's a free community literacy celebration designed for families, students, and community partners. We're focused on reading, writing, student voice, community partnerships, and access to books. We actually have 2 children's authors, award-winning children's authors, coming as our keynote speakers. We are going to have so many free books and activities and games. It really is just to bring the community together."
You said the free word.
Yes.
This entire event is free.
The entire event is free, and we're also going to have our wonderful nutritional services department providing a free lunch, 100% free lunch, hot dogs, chips, water.
Gourmet lunch.
Oh yeah,
Good.
School lunch, but it's still pretty good.
Nothing I like better in the middle of the day than a good hot dog.
Yeah.
The Literacy is Life event is happening tomorrow at Joshua Tree Elementary School. It runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and features keynote speakers, authors Josh Oaktree and Candace Fleming. Tomorrow at noon, the Desert Region Fire Safe will be offering a community conversation on the state of homeowners insurance. The event is happening at Fire Station number 2 in Morongo Valley. Reporter Gabriel Hart takes a closer look at this informative workshop at the High Desert's newest Fire Safety Resource Center.
The High Desert is a high fire risk area, especially if you live in Morongo Valley or Pioneer Town due to the higher density of trees and undergrowth. If you're wondering if your home is properly insured, concerned by rising insurance premiums, or facing non-renewals, join local industry professionals from Allstate Insurance and Desert Region Fire Safe for a conversation and Q&A to help you understand the changing landscape, your options, and how to protect your home. They'll cover strategies to reduce wildfire risks and lower premiums, the latest trends in homeowners insurance for 2026, your rights and responsibilities as a policyholder, what to do if your policy is non-renewed, and understanding the California Fair Plan. Bring your questions and concerns to the Morongo Valley Fire Department, East Station 2 at 9492 Sundown Trail off Highway 62. It all starts at noon this Saturday, February 28th. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
The High Desert Beekeepers Association meets tomorrow at Rainbow Stew. The buzz at this month's meeting is beekeeping equipment. After that meeting, the Yucca Valley Flute Circle will gather. That's an opportunity for musicians to play together and learn from one another. Both are happening at Rainbow Stew in Yucca Valley. The beekeepers meet at noon and the Flute Circle gathers at 4 p.m. And finally, the 29 Palms High School boys varsity tennis team traveled to San Gorgonio High School to face the Spartans yesterday. The Wildcats won big with a score of 15-3. The Wildcats traveled to Indian Springs on Tuesday and Desert Mirage on Thursday. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmetz.